In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم
Allah, there is no deity except Him, the ever-living, the sustainer of all existence.
لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم
Neither drowsiness overtakes Him nor sleep.
له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض
To Him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on earth.
من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه
Who is it that can intercede with Him except by His permission?
يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء
He knows what is before them and what will be after them, and they encompass not a thing of His knowledge except for what He wills.
وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض
His kursi extends over the heavens and the earth,
ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم
and their preservation tires Him not, and He is the Most High, the Most Great.
Welcome to Tech Pakistan.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम, मेरा नाम है फैज़ान लगारी और मैं अभी टेक पाकिस्तान के 11th मीटअप पे आया हुआ था। अभी जो मुझे मज़ेदार बात लगी थी ना, वो यहाँ पे थी कि इट्स वेरी ओपन। तो यहाँ पे काफ़ी ऐसी कड़वी बातें भी बोली गई हैं जो यूजुअली हम लोग इस किस्म के मीटअप्स के अंदर नहीं बोल रहे होते। और मैं तो वैसे ही मुँह फट हूँ, तो मुझे ये अपॉर्चुनिटी जब यहाँ पे मिली ये बातें खुल के बात करने की, और ऑडियंस जो थी वो बहुत ही रिसेप्टिव भी थी, और ऑडियंस जो थी वो भी काफ़ी खुले तरीके से क्वेश्चन आंसर्स कर रही थी, जो कि यूजुअली इवेंट्स के अंदर दबा दिया जाता है। तो आई लव दैट अबाउट दिस इवेंट एंड आई सिंसियरली बिलीव कि इस किस्म के और भी इवेंट्स होने चाहिए। इनफैक्ट कि अगर टेक पाकिस्तान और इवेंट्स में मुझे बुलाएगा तो आई
अस्सलाम जी, आज हम none other than हुमायूं मसद
Another episode of Rendezvous with Anza Saqib on CXO Global TV. CXO Global Forum is a knowledge sharing platform for all C-levels across the globe. We take massive pride in contributing to the knowledge economy with our league of extraordinary gentlemen and ladies who are not only domain experts but key thought leaders and those people who have made a considerable amount of difference and significance in the fields that they're working in. Today, as well, we've got a very special guest with us, one of our esteemed members, Mr. Ron Thomas. He's the MD of the Strategy Focus Group based in Dubai and Singapore. Ron, thank you so much for joining us today, once again.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Right. Ron, so, we keep talking and everyone's really inspired by your journey. But 1 second, how about you tell us a little more about yourself that people probably do not know about you yet? Some interesting.
Okay. Yeah, it's a long journey. I started my career in sales with IBM right out of university. And that was a great career, but I eventually left because my family owned a bakery, and I really wanted to do this entrepreneurial thing. And I left and went there and learned how to bake. And my plans were to take it and build it into a chain of bakeries. But it didn't work out. It didn't work out because my plans were different from my aunt and uncle's plans. And there was a clash, and eventually I went back into sales and worked and just a regular job kind of thing. And there was an opportunity to go back and work with IBM again, and this time it was in learning and development. So what I interviewed as a trainer on Microsoft Office, and I knew just enough to teach a class, and I was one chapter ahead of everybody else that was in the class. So it was kind of learning on the fly. But it was successful, and I created a brand around getting it done, taking on any assignment, learning as I go along, and would never say no to any opportunity that came up. And eventually, the branch manager, the manager who was in charge of
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the EdTech Summit 2021. We at CXO Global Forum are a knowledge sharing platform for all C-levels across Pakistan and the globe, an extraordinary league of key thought leaders and those people who are not only domain experts, but those who have had a considerable amount of experience and influence in the fields that they're working in. We're based in all chapters around the world and have been focusing on innovation, internationalization, disruption, and contribution to the knowledge economy. Today's session, the summit, was our brainchild with the aim of bringing together all the stakeholders, around 200 plus stakeholders related to education, technology, and policy governance on this collective platform to ensure that the right kind of knowledge is disseminated to all of you. We would appreciate if you stay tuned for all our sessions and do post your questions and queries and feedback in the chats and comments here. We would also request you to be a little patient. If there are any lags in your areas, the whole stream will be uploaded. Without further ado, let me tell you a little about how we've broken down this whole summit and how we've defined the thematic area, starting with what is EdTech. So post-pandemic, a lot of education had to move online. And we have to be mindful of the fact that sitting here in Pakistan and a lot of other developing nations, there was also an issue of digital inequality, internet inequality, and the digital divide. And EdTech jumped in to solve all these problems. We also will be looking at adapting the curriculum for EdTech, blended learning models, future-ready skills for the 21st century, and also industry-academia linkages. Another part of the sessions will be raising capital for EdTech. This is something that is very close to a lot of people in terms of their passion and in terms of the innovation that they're trying to do. They often have brilliant ideas, but do not know how to raise the kind of capital that is needed for their startup to have an impact. We are now going to introduce you to the keynote speaker of the day. We're very proud and honored that Professor Dr. Ataur Rahman, who's Nishan-e-Imtiaz, Hilal-e-Imtiaz, Sitara-e-Imtiaz, Tamgha-e-Imtiaz. He's the UNESCO Science Laureate, Chairman and PM's National Task Force on Science and Technology. He's an academician, Chinese Academy of Sciences. He's the Professor Emeritus at International Center for Chemical and Biological Sciences at the University of Karachi. He's going to be addressing the audience shortly, and he's going to be speaking about education, science, technology, and innovation, the imperatives for social economic development. Without further ado, stay tuned to the live stream, and we'll have Professor Ataur Rahman.